Hi everyone, my name is Mike Cronin. I graduated from Bryant in 2011. Really excited to be back actually. I haven't been here since I graduated, so just got onto campus 5 minutes ago, so I'm comfortably excited to be back. But I majored in comm. I'm a news reporter for Charter TV3 in Worcester, Mass, which is affiliated with NECN Neckin out of Boston.
Hi, my name is Lauren Gaynor. I was a communication major and a marketing minor. I graduated in 2010, and right now I am an event manager for the American Liver Foundation. I manage a team that runs in the Boston Marathon. There's about 215 runners, and it's overseeing that program from soup to nuts, whether it's the application process, overseeing the website, day-to-day customer service and issues that you run into to the actual race day.
Hello, my name is Colby Butler, and I graduated in 2009 as a comm major, and I currently work for an organization called Willis. I've been with the company for about 2.5 years now, and really what we are is we're a global insurance brokerage firm. I'm on the employee benefit brokerage side of our practice, and really what we do is we're selling insurance services to typically CEOs, CFOs, or vice presidents of human resources with companies that have anywhere between 500 to 5,000 employees.
Hi, I'm Mark Laszlo. I am a comm major and a computer information systems major. I graduated in 2010, and I am now working for a company called Adventures, which is an advertising agency based out of Providence. I started there in February of 2012, actually, so I'm still kind of getting settled in there. It's been, an interesting transition. Up until that point, I had been working as a video editor at a nonprofit mental health company up in Lincoln. So to go from that world where I was working on maybe 1 or 2 projects a month to now where we're working on 3 to 4 projects a week, things get a little bit more hectic, but it's definitely been an interesting experience.
Hi everybody, my name is Stephanie Fontaine. I graduated in 2009 with a communication major and a marketing minor. I've now been with Target for 3 years and absolutely love it. I am a store team leader now, which in normal non-Target terms means general manager of the Lincoln store. So I'm sure I see all of you at some point all the time in my store. It's right down the road. I am in charge of about 200 people on a day-to-day basis with 5 different major operations between logistics, sales, human resources, assets protection, and guest experience.
Hi everyone, I'm Angela Floro. I graduated in 2008. At Society, I did all development stuff. So when you think development, fundraising, special events, event planning, logistics, team recruitment, emails, communication, anything you could possibly think of, I got my experience at the MS Society. I worked there for about 3 years, I got promotions, and I kind of just hit a wall. So what I ended up getting was a job at the Alzheimer's Association. I work closely with Lauren. I now oversee the athletic fundraising events for the Alzheimer's Association. So I do the entire run program, the triathlon program, and our memory ride, which is a cycling event.
My name is Molly Burt. I graduated in 2008 with a communications major and a legal studies minor. I started out at Dunkin' Brands, which is the corporate office for Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin Robbins, in their corporate communications department. I worked on writing newsletters to stores, franchisee communications, any of the emails that had to go out. For most of you, everybody is aware and pretty much knows what Dunkin' Donuts is, but not a lot of people know that it's owned by almost 98% by franchisees. So they're the ones who run the business, and we have to communicate to them to make sure that all the information is getting to them and they're running their stores properly. So I worked in corporate communications for 3 years. I worked on a global conference down in New Orleans where all of our franchisees got together and we talked about our plans for the company, and it happens every 4 years. And then I had the opportunity to work in marketing, actually field marketing, and a job opened up in the Rhode Island, Bristol County market, which is where I am right now. And so that job entails dealing with people like Angela calling for money, and among other things. So we buy all of our media for the local media. We buy all of the sponsorships that you see. I help make Dunkin' Donuts come to Bryant. Of course, they came a year after I graduated, which was a real bummer. And I deal with the franchisees, the stores, the managers. We have meetings. I mean, you name it, I do it. And
hey guys, my name is Melanie Schleroyce Connor. I actually graduated with Mike 2011, so a year and a half ago-ish. And I actually ended up getting a job on the global marketing team in my building, which is great. So I work with, I'm a communications project manager, and I work with a team based in Poland, in Warsaw, and also in Paris. And my job is basically, it's a few things, and it's kind of like what everyone says. It sounds cliche, but you really are like the jack of all trades. And I'm a liaison, essentially, for corporate stakeholders who want to get marketing materials developed. And then my people, like my buds, are the designers and photographers and copywriters that I submit projects to. And we collaborate based on timelines that I develop with my corporate stakeholders. And you know, I just developed a billboard for South Africa. I'm working on like a daily magazine for Pakistan right now, so really interesting things.
Looking back on it, when I came out in 2009, as we know, the economy's not good, the jobs aren't there, very difficult. And now in retrospect, it forced me to do things at an earlier age than I thought I was going to. And it made me go out and talk to people, talk to strangers, and really, they didn't have a job to offer me, but what they did have is some great guidance, insight, and perspective that I could learn from and really shape who I am and how I present myself. So learning from that and talking to strangers and figuring out what is it that I could have
in the corporate world, half an hour is a really long time. And so they found out that he went to Bryant, and I checked him out on Facebook, and his profile photo was him, what was the big thing back like 4 years ago when you were like kneeling and chugging at the same time? What's that called? Icing. They were doing something like that. Or maybe it was a Captain Morgan's thing. There's been a bunch of stories. Anyway, the point of it is, like, clean up your Facebook page, because as much as you think it's private, you know, I found out, and so you never know who knows. Back to the networking thing, you never know who knows who.
And sales development roles where they literally spend their morning checking emails and their afternoon looking people up on LinkedIn and researching people. It's like professional stalking. So, you know, bone up your LinkedIn profile. I know it sounds cliche, but if you put a little time into it, it pays off, I think. You know, you can get recommendations from people that you worked with on internships to kind of give it a little backbone or anything like that. But, you know, if you're going to have one, at least develop it a little, I would say.
We're asked to work in teams a lot in my organization. And so there might be 3 or 4 different teams that I need to work and coordinate with. Much like the group work that we do here, you have other people that are on sports teams and have competing agendas, and making it all work, figuring it out.
I mean, last week was interviewing Scott Brown and Elizabeth Warren. The other day was doing a story on World War II vets. Tomorrow I'm doing a story on Air Bud. So it's something different every day. The sons of Air Bud. Air Bud's dead, but I know it's very sad. But
All of a sudden I'm in this environment now where it's like, you know, I get asked probably once or twice a week, did you put your time in? How much time's on this job? Why did you account this much time for this job? And, you know, everybody's there to help everybody else, but at the same time, we really have to make sure that, you know, we're not going over our budgets, we're not, you know, overcharging, we're not undercharging. And, you know, I am responsible at the end of the year to have, I believe it's 80% of my time be billable. So I have to make sure that I'm constantly putting time towards jobs and not just, you know, checking my email, because that doesn't actually count towards being productive. It's all part of my day-to-day job, but I don't get to bill anybody for checking my email.
In my business, I manage a store that does about $40 million a year. So I have shareholders, which are, you know, random people I don't even know, investing in my company for me to produce. And there's a lot of pressure put from the top down on how to produce, as well as the people that work for you. So most people that work for me work between $8 and $10 an hour. They support families on that. So how can I make their lives easier and as seamless as possible when they're making like no money. I don't know how they do it, but they do. And they rely on me to make sure that our day-to-day operations are going. So that's where this.
My job is all networking, getting business cards, going to chamber events, going to alumni events, talking to alumni. The reason why I got my internship at Fidelity was because at one of these events, I went up to this woman and said, hey, can I job shadow you someday? Not even thinking anything more than just your job's kind of interesting. And she said, actually, I have an internship available. Apply tonight. The deadline's tomorrow. I applied, got it out of like a ton of people that I had no idea this job was even available. So this is definitely something that is good. I mean, go to the career fairs, go to the, you just don't know who you're gonna meet. I guess that's who you just never know who's gonna open the door for you somewhere.
Now is really stretching me pretty thin and challenging me outside of my bubble. So, like I said, I still have that creative itch, and I really try to fulfill that by doing other things on the outside of life. And I think we talked a lot today about like stress and our jobs are so hard and we're all so important and all this stuff. But life outside of college is pretty sweet too.